Hello everyone, I'm Vikas from Small Academy and I welcome you to the final video of video streaming application development with REST API. So in the last videos we created this simple looking application where we extracted the data from JSON file and we displayed the data into the Recyclerview using card view and so on. And we also created a player activity where we can play the video from the URL, and there we also created the controller and everything. Okay, so if you haven't watched those videos, you should probably go and watch it because all these videos are connected together and you won't be able to follow along here with me if you haven't watched those videos. And in this video today we're going to make this video view, which is the default video view that comes with the Android Studio. And one thing you need to understand is that it doesn't have the full screen capability, and we are going to write that function manually. Here I try to look for the better code in the internet, and I look for the few Stack Overflow threads and so on, but I was not able to find the code that was working to make this video view full screen, so I had to use my own logic. So I try to combine a few others properties and functions to get the job done, but it might not be the efficient one or it might not be the effective one. So if you found something else, or if you want to implement your own full screen function, then you can do it. But here I'm going to implement it in my own way. So let me know in the comment what you think about this logic that I have implemented, and if you have the better one, please let me know. I would love to implement that in this application, and we can discuss about that in our Facebook group or in the comment box below as well. So now let's go ahead and implement the actual thing. So I have my Android Studio open here, and this was the file that we were working on in the last video. And now what I want to do is I want to add the option to go full screen when somebody click on full screen icon in our player. Okay, so by default Android Studio video view do not comes with full screen capability, as I said already, and they don't have any other options as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create one icon here somewhere, and when somebody click on that icon, they will be able to make this video go full screen, and they can watch that video on full screen. And if they want to exit out of full screen, they have to double tap on the back button and they can come out of the full screen, and they can still watch the video in smaller screen or in the default view that we have here. So for that I'm going to need a full screen icon that I want to put it somewhere here in the video view. So I'm gonna go here to resources, and from the drawable I'm going to create one vector asset, and there we can find the free icon for the full screen. So if you go here and search full screen, you can get the full screen option, and you can also get the full screen exit option, but we are not going to use that, but we'll only use the full screen option. Click on OK, next, and finish, and our icon is ready now, or our icon is created, and that is present in here. Okay, so I'm gonna drag and drop the image view and select this baseline full screen as the icon that I want. And now this icon is at the left side, but I want it to put at the right side of this video view. Okay, that area seems appropriate to add that icon. So to position this icon in the right side, I can use the layout gravity, because remember we are inside the frame layout, we are not inside the constraint view like how we have here in the card view. So if we are using frame layout, we cannot use the constraint to move the icon around from one position to another, so we have to go through the manual method. So that's why I'm going to use layout gravity for this image view. So if I scroll down here, I can find the layout gravity option, and I'm gonna select the end option here. That means it will go to the right side, and now it is kind of stuck with the corner here. So I want to change that. I want to give the padding so that it will have this padding for the top and the right. Okay, so I'm gonna go and find the padding option here somewhere. Okay, so I can't find padding, so I'm just going to search for the padding option, and after that I can click on this, and I'll give padding of 5 dp, Oops, I was not supposed to give padding for that frame layout. Actually, I need to give padding for this image view. So select that and give 5 dp as the padding, and now you can see it is having some kind of margin between the top view and the right side. Okay, now I'll give the ID for this. So let me come out of this search view here, and now instead of image view I'll give full screen option. Okay, OP, I think that is fine. Now I will use this ID to handle the event that is going to happen in this icon. So let's go back to the player here, and here I'm gonna create the image view object or variable and give the same name, or you can give different name, that is up to you. And here I wanna bind the data, so full screen OP equals to find view by ID r.id dot full screen OP. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to handle the click on this full screen OP, because I said that if somebody click on this icon we are going to make this video full screen. Okay, so let me handle the click on that. So I'll just scroll down here, and just after this set on prepared listener, I'm going to I'll use the full screen OP variable that we have, and I'm gonna set the on click listener and create new view on click listener on. Now here we'll set the flag to make our activity full screen. So to do that we can use window manager. So we'll use window manager, layout params, and here we can set the flag. So we'll set the full screen flag, so flag underscore full screen is the flag we want. And here instead of set flags we'll use add flag, because set flag expect 2 parameters, but add flag is the correct method that we want to use here. So let's run this application and see what happens if we click on that full screen icon that we have in the video view. Okay, so what it should do is it should hide the action bar and it should hide the status bar as well, but we'll see what happens. Let me click on the video that we want to play, and okay, the video is playing, and you can see that we have this full screen icon here. And now if I click on this, it should hide the action bar and the status bar, as you can see there. Okay, now if I click on back, it's just going to exit it because we have not implemented the logic. So that is what we wanted. So if we click on that, it should hide the status bar and the action bar. Okay, that means we have successfully implemented these 2 code here. Now let's go ahead and make the whole thing full screen. Okay, because here you can notice if we click on this full screen, you can see we still have this title and the description, so our video view should be able to hide that. Okay, so we'll fix that now. Let's go ahead and do that, because when our activity is on full screen, we don't want that title and the description. Now I want to make our frame layout that we have here covering. Now here we have this frame layout, right? So I want this frame layout right now have the wrap content as its width, right? So now what I want to do is programmatically I want to make this match parent. I want it to match the whole parent, so that we'll be able to make our video view as a full screen. Okay, so to do that we can use layout params. So here I'm just going to first I need this frame layout. So we have the frame layout as the ID here. So I'm gonna go here and create frame layout resources or variable and frame layout. Okay, let's bind the XML resources that we have. So frame layout. Now I can use this frame layout variable to make that variable expanding to the whole view that we have in the device. So let's go here and frame layout, and I'm going to use set layout params because I want to change the width and height of the frame layout. And here I'm going to create new, and here since we have the constraint layout as our parent layout here, so I need to use the constraint layout params. So I'm going to use constraint layout params, and inside this I'll use the get window method to set the match parent as the properties of width and height. Okay, so new. Now inside this I'm gonna set the match parent for the height and width and for the height as well. So match parent. So let me hide this here. Okay, you can see it. We have the frame layout. We are going to change the height and width of this frame layout. That's why we are setting the new layout params. We want to make this frame layout covering whole area that is present in our parent layout. So constraint layout is our parent layout, and inside that we are setting that our frame layout should cover the all the available space of this constraint layout. Okay, and now we need to make this video player covering up whole space available inside this frame layout, since we have changed the height and width of this frame layout now. So I want to make this video player covering up the whole available space inside this frame layout, because video player is present inside this frame layout. Okay, so we can use same thing. So set layout params, and inside this we're going to use frame layout params, and here same, we're going to use the window manager and match parent, and same as the match parent. Okay, so it should cover up the whole space. Let's see what happens by running this application again. Okay, so I'm gonna open this video, and you can see the video is running, and I'll wait for this video to play. The video is playing, and now if I click on this full screen button, let's see what happens. Okay, you can see we are full screen mode, and now I want to change the orientation of this screen so that we can see the video in landscape mode. Okay, so I'm just going to change the orientation in my phone. Okay, I try to put it in the landscape mode, and you can see this video is playing, but it is reloading the whole activity actually. So we need to set that configuration from the Android manifest. We'll do that in a second, but before that I want to make this full screen. So if I click on this, you can see it is coming in the full screen, and it is kind of not covering this area, and this is the one bug that I encountered while I making this video full screen. Okay, so that I need to fix. Later on we'll hide this icon here and make this background black. So you can see it is kind of full screen, but not really. So this is only full screen if we watch this video in landscape mode. Okay, so what I want to do is every time when somebody click on this, let me pause this. So every time when somebody click on this full screen mode, I want to start this activity in landscape mode. Okay, so we can do that programmatically. We'll do that in a second.